And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast. As always, I am your host, Aaron, as joined with my best friend, Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
And my best friend, producer, and brother-in-law, Scott.
They have a stroke.
I don't know what that
It was a stroke.
was.
It was a mini stroke.
I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. Thanks again for Jeff for coming on and promoting
Jeff of Rucking
Fountain. Yeah, I don't think we did that enough on that actual show. But
sure.
No, I'm saying I really don't think we promote. It is ruckingfountain.com. Go there for all your Rucking Fountain needs.
They sell t-shirts.
Did you get
I'm so low on Rucking Fountain.
Did you get the mystery triple pack?
Yes, I did.
Did you, Scott?
No, he did not.
Nope.
Way to not support our sponsor. Well, I guess it's not really a sponsor, but people on our show. How dare you? I got it as well, but luckily I got a gift card because they had messed some stuff up from July, but that's okay. That is okay.
Please cut this out. Thanks for coming on. You guys really fucked up something.
No. I don't mind. Shit happens, dude. It's all good. Okay, before we get into the movie for the week, we got a couple of things to talk about and do. I think we're playing the game today, but we're gonna have to come up with a new punishment. Because
No, just because you watched some fucking TikTok thing.
Bro.
Some dude fucking died. Now Aaron's fucking freaking out that he can't eat the chip.
Bro, I'm kind of worried about it. Like, I got a lot of health shit going on right now. I'm very fat. I just don't need to be going to the hospital right now. I got that shit, so.
But if you die on air, it'll be rating.
I don't want to go to the hospital. I just don't want to die, and I'm scared of dying. And
But it'd be good for ratings.
I got stuff to go. I don't care.
Think of the ratings.
I'm not willing to die to find out what movies you have.
I'll watch it later where the two hosts
How about if I win, you have to eat the chip, but if you win, I have to, like, drink like a gallon of milk or something. I don't know.
He has to drink
That'll still make me throw up.
Bottle of ranch soda.
I'll do that.
All right, okay, here we go. You win, I'll eat the chip.
Okay.
I win, you buy wings tonight. Yeah, what do you want to do more?
All right. Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
There we go.
But you can't go crazy. It has to be like a normal amount of wings.
I'll take everything on the menu, my good man. This man's paying. And you'd be sad over there.
I'm not even listening to the show, and I feel robbed.
How about this? The wings thing, fine. But, I mean, that's fine. If that's what you really want to do.
I'm not going to go crazy,
Okay.
trust me.
No, not that. But I have a counter offer.
Okay.
If I win tonight, you eat the chip. But you don't have to. You can come up with something else. If you win, I have to drink an entire bottle, not of the ranch soda. I'll drink ranch soda and, oh, God, just thinking about this, the gross-ass buffalo wing soda. So I'll drink both bottles on air.
Like a chicken wing, drink. Yeah, I'm down.
All right, yeah, you know what? Forget the wings.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll drink the sodas.
And I have to drink the whole bottle.
Yep.
And the show isn't over until
And you're going to mix them together to have like a ranch buffalo?
Oh, so
Yep.
gross.
I'm fucking ready.
I've never been so excited to win
I'm
something.
I'm on my way down right now to fucking buy them.
So good.
Yeah. Hey, why is he walking out the door? Hold on.
Right,
Hold on.
he's
We're
already ready to
we're
go.
not ready for that yet. So did you guys watch anything new this week, or did you catch anything on the old movie train? I know you did.
I did.
What'd you watch?
I watched The Tragedy of Macbeth.
You actually watched it?
I did. I wanted to
Nice.
be part of the cool club.
I was going to say, because Aaron finally watched it, you watched it, and I've seen it, so now we can actually kind of discuss it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought it up, because he told me that he'd watched it last night.
Interesting.
That's weird.
Before we get heavily into it, I just really wanted to say that Shakespeare is not my bag. Like, listening to them talk in I am parameter or whatever the fuck that is, it's just not for me.
Iambic pentameter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I knew I couldn't say it right. I'm a very stupid person. Anyways, even when you put Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes in a film and it's modernized, and you still use the Shakespearean speak, I feel like that shit is just too dry. And I felt the same way about the Tragedy of Macbeth. However, I thought the visuals were amazing. I thought how the Gothic noir aesthetic was really cool. But at the end of the day, it was fucking Shakespeare, and I had to sit through an hour and 47 minutes of it. The witch was very cool. I like her a lot. If anything, I think she should win for some kind of like, I don't know.
Yoga posing?
Yeah, like
something.
because the way they introduced her, it was just her, so singular. So she plays the weird sisters, and it was just her, and it threw me off. I'm like, okay, so she's speaking one way, and then she switches up to speaking another. So I'm like, oh, she's gonna be multiple personality weird sisters. And then they do this shot where she's sitting next to like a reflection of water and stuff like that, and you see two other sisters standing side by side next to her, and then all of a sudden there she is, all three. And it was like such a cool shot. Like it got me in almost immediately. I was like, okay, that's fucking rad. Like that's the scene I was like, Aaron's gonna like that, just visually and like movie making wise. Like that is a really cool way to introduce all three. It was
Visually,
really
it was incredible.
Visually, this movie is absolutely lovely from a standpoint of the light and dark and use of contrast. Right down to the texture in the outfits.
Yeah.
With the light kind of beaming off the texture. I told Aaron, it reminded me a lot of like those pictures that you cut multiple layers of paper out and then you shine the light behind it.
Yes.
And it creates like this 3D kind of depth image. I loved that part of it. But I agree with Aaron is that it was on an hour and 45 minutes of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It was so hard to stay in the game listening to them talk because I've read The Tragedy of Macbeth. I hated it back then. And it didn't make it any better with Denzel doing it.
Yeah.
But
see, honestly, for me though, like I feel Denzel was just Denzel doing Shakespeare. He was
100%.
Yes.
If
I
you're
said
going to
he
say
was
anything,
Denzel from Training Day doing
yes,
Shakespeare.
And if you're going to find any weakness in this movie, it's Denzel just being Denzel speaking in Shakespearean speak. Everyone else was acting 10,000 times better, and it was a cast of just some beautiful performances, and Denzel's just being Denzel. And it was still cool, but it was
a lot of British Harry Potter actors,
very,
which I was super
very Harry
into.
Potterish.
When I saw that first guy, I'm like,
Fucking Dursley.
Kind of brings it down for me a little bit.
Dursley's in it.
Yes.
Bad Eye Moody's in it.
I forgot he played Duncan.
Yeah, the witch. She's the Harry Potter's neighbor in the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes.
who sees with the fight the Dementors or whatever it is, or Half-Blood Prince or who cares?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I agree. It should win something for probably best.
It's gorgeous.
Best, cinematography, visual, whatever.
I think the music was really good too. Like there was a lot of things that made this movie really, really good.
yeah.
Again, the weakest part for me, and it's not the same for you guys because I took classes. I love Shakespeare, so for me, it didn't have that same weight to it as far as, oh my God, this is taking forever kind of feel. I think everything was fine for me. It was Denzel being Denzel. That was the only weak link for me.
I love Shakespeare as well, and I know, but I don't find the source material like intriguing. I find different. I find the stories to be incredibly good. My favorite version of Macbeth is in a Kurosawa film, Throne of Blood.
Yeah,
that's it's literally Macbeth, but done samurai style. I like it when they switch it up. I think just a straight on Shakespeare is it's just for me it's just not interesting. But I think the stories themselves are vastly.
It's like listening to somebody talk in Pig Latin.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like,
well, it's like
dude,
poetry.
Just talk fucking normal. Come on,
it's poetry, and I get it, man. I do.
Speak English,
I get
motherfucker.
that it's such a different time,
and there's
but
people
it's
who
like,
love it, and you know what? More power to you, and I love you people for loving it, and I will never take that away from you. But for me, let's watch,
And I get it's super hipster.
She's the man
to go to like the 4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah, that
you could have given me the you could have given me the 16:9 aspect and shown me all the best parts of that movie because it would have been better in a 16:9 ratio.
The scenery,
yes,
just because there was that one scene where Denzel, it was after the party, he's going crazy, he's fighting the Raven, and his wife, drugs him and says, "Hey, go to bed, good night," and he passes out and he wakes up and the room has been flooded because it was raining, and then he looks up and he sees the three sisters just crouching on these beams,
that was
just
cool.
towering over him like they were like ravens, and they were just talking to him and doing the whole toil and toil, speech.
Toil and toil.
Toil, whatever. And then it's just
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
No, it's fucking Harry Potter.
yeah. But it was such a cool scene. And then they're predicting what's going to happen. Something wicked this way comes, and then the face comes through the water. I was almost expecting a jump scare for half a second. I was like, oh God, there's a face coming, and then a hand's going to reach out and grab Macbeth, and and then the water floods, and it was just such a I think hopefully they did that practically, where the water just kind of sinks into the ground and disappears. I think just visually this movie was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I also got to check out The Night House. Did you watch it last night?
Ooh.
Yeah,
You watched Macbeth,
why would you?
his energy's out.
I'm down for a month now.
Yeah, he doesn't have to watch anything else ever again.
I absolutely loved The Night House. Kim watched it with me. The one thing where I
I'm
was like,
surprised. She was against watching it 3 weeks ago.
I know. So she actually pulled her phone up, started playing a game, and as the movie progressed, she got more and more into it.
Phone goes down.
Phone goes down. She's asking me all sorts of questions. I highly recommend this film. I can't recommend it enough. I love the ever-living crap out of it. Probably one I'll revisit. The only thing I didn't like was the ending, but I didn't know how else they were going to end it. So
Right.
You're not selling me.
No, it's still a satisfying ending. It just feels like the weight of that movie, when you get to there, you're like, okay. But it's
Right.
still good.
Yeah.
It's still a good ending.
But I
It's
have
just-
so many questions.
Yes.
Well, see you later.
No, it's good. It's not elevated
Big old
horror.
pump. Yeah,
It's not this fucking bullshit A24 shit. Like there is a reason for things. There are stakes. I didn't. I don't want to talk about it because I do want.
I want
him to
Scott
watch it.
to watch it as well.
We'll talk about it later.
But the one thing I will say about it, and this isn't ruining anything, is it you think you're going to get some jump scares, and they never happen.
Yeah.
It's like
And
the
it-
Scream with the fucking
Yeah,
fridge.
it's
Yeah, but
exactly
you
like
never get the
that.
payoff though.
You
Like,
never
the
get the
music
payoff.
builds up.
Yep.
Yep.
And then they're like,
100%.
It's so good.
Rebecca
though. Like,
Hall's just so amazing in
She
it.
is.
So there's a part in the beginning that you'll love. She just starts yelling at this lady who comes in to talk to her about her kid in class, and she's like, "Oh, well, my husband killed himself, so you want a fucking A? You get an A." Yeah, it was just really fun. So,
Well, I'm
and
glad you finally watched it.
did you watch anything else this week?
Not really. I've been watching a lot of TV shows, catching up on Blacklist.
I did watch Peacemaker, all 4 episodes.
I watched the first one. I liked the first one. I feel like the first one, they were almost trying too hard to be edgy in some cases, so it kind of felt like, okay, we get it, James Gunn, let's go. But I hear the other episodes get progressively better. So I am gonna stick with it. It's one of the few properties of DC that I think is gonna do well.
If you would have, well, I think you did tell me when we went and saw Suicide Squad. Oh, they're making a show with this guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. But I watched all 4 episodes. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like James Gunn, and as much as I hate liking him, I do. I think he's funny and compelling, and the show is really interesting. There's
Yeah.
nothing it's just the opening credits alone are worth
Oh, the
watching.
dance sequence?
Yeah, it's
I love the
so
dance
fun.
sequence.
And then once you run into more and more characters, and you start seeing them in the dance sequence, you're like,
Yeah.
this is even weirder.
Yeah, and then the Peacemaker, and then fucking Eagly's up front going, "This is fucking my show. Like I'm the goddamn CGI eagle you're gonna fall in love with."
Yeah.
It's so great.
Eagle's awesome.
Because after the first episode, just to kind of just end of the first episode, something happens, big explosion, and then fucking he's sitting there like, oh shit, I can't believe that just happened. And the eagle fucking does what a cat would do or whatever, and swoops down and drops fucking a rat in front of him, and then nuzzles it up to him like,
It was a
here's
ferret,
a gift,
I
here's
think.
something for you. It's just whatever, but it was I know you had a hard time. Here's a gift. It was like, oh shit, man, this is fucking great. I loved it. So yeah, I've seen that, and then today I revisited because I've been kind of feeling that missing feeling of I wanted a big spectacle movie, kind of like how we with Spider-Man. So I revisited Avengers Infinity War today, and I'm like, fuck, this movie still hits. It's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
So watch that. But that's pretty much it. I
think-
haven't had a whole lot of time this week.
You and I are going to see Fight Club tonight, which is my favorite movie of all time, and
we good.
I catch it in the theater at least once a year. Scott was like, "Nope." Even though we're a show, I fucking hate hanging out with you guys. And
I haven't seen Fight Club in a theater probably since it released. I haven't been to, that's why I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in, because I haven't seen it on a big screen.
When did we go? It was last year, wasn't it?
probably,
Yeah,
like I
we
said,
went.
I see it once.
Yeah, I think
see it
you
in the
invited
theater
me, and
once a
I
year.
couldn't make it last year for some reason.
Nice. My heart is full.
I feel like it's very topical since yesterday we lost Meatloaf and he's in this movie, so it's just one of those.
Scott cannot be bothered.
Wow, yeah, he just doesn't care about us.
Yeah,
he just wants us to fucking eat
When
terrible
you're-
chips
when
and drink
you're
sodas.
when you're at level of star that I am,
That's where they tune in.
You don't hang with the peasants.
It's true. We are very peasanty.
And then the one other thing I wanted to talk about is I got to check out this movie this week called The Kid Detective. It was one of those movies that was just starting on like HBO, and I was kind of not watching it, and then I just immediately fell into it. It's Adam Brody from OC fame or whatever the fuck show that was, or
Scream 4.
was he in Scream 4?
He was one of the cops. Remember? He
Oh, that's right. He gets
him and
murked.
like Anthony whatever.
And
Anthony Anderson.
Yes.
And then they get murked right outside the house.
and he plays this detective in the small town. Well, as a kid, he solves all these cases, and then this one case comes to town where it's this girl that gets abducted, and he's not able to solve it, so he grows up, and his life is like kind of shitty. And then this girl shows up and is like, "Hey, could you solve this case of my boyfriend? He was murdered," and it all ties together. And I'm telling you, it is one of the best movies you have never heard of.
I've heard of it. I
meant the
forgot
audience.
completely. Well, yeah, no, Scott.
Scott, yeah.
I had never seen it. I don't know. Is this a comedy or is this a serious movie?
It's a dark comedy.
Okay.
It's got Shark Boy and Lava Girl in it.
No, it doesn't.
Hot. I'm in.
No,
Let's
it
do
doesn't. I don't. You made that joke last night.
I know when he says kid detective, that's what it makes me think of. It makes me think
Does
of
feel like a
Spy
Robert
Kids or
Rodriguez.
It's
something.
not. It's very dark. It's very grown up.
Danny Trejo's in it.
It's. I highly recommend it.
I'll check it out. I
Yeah.
like Adam Brody. Like I really do. Like I've been following his career since the OC, so like I'm all in.
I always thought he was the best part of the OC.
He was great. Like
Yeah.
I still say like Christmasca, where like he celebrates Christmas and Hanukkah because his parents are two different religions, and I don't know, just everything about that show was really fun except for Misha Barton. She's the worst, but everybody else was great.
Didn't she fade into obscurity like
she
she
went
deserved?
crazy or did the whole Paris Hilton thing. Who cares?
All right, guys. As promised, this week in I'll Watch It Later history, we found out that Scott owns movies.
Like
At
four
least
movies.
4 or 5 movies.
Find the movies in this list
So
that I own.
he's come up with a list.
There's 20 movies.
There's 20 movies.
So there's 20 movies on this list.
Yes.
There's 9 of them that I own on this list.
Oh, so there's a chance to
There's a chance.
we could both win.
I don't know. So
So do you want us to pick 9 and the
what I'm going to
person gets
do
the most?
is I'm going to go down. I'm going to read starting from top to bottom.
Okay.
I'll read the movie off. We can kind of banter about it, talk about it. You guys will check off the ones that you think are in my collection.
Okay.
So
I
number
already have
one,
a few ideas.
number
on this.
one, Bad Boys.
Do you want to put trailers of it?
Fucking 20 movies, 20 trailers. This show's like 4 hours long. Okay, Bad Boys.
Bad
I
Boys.
could see that. It's an action
We'll
movie. Michael
discuss
Bay.
them once he's read the entire.
We can. I mean, it's fine.
It's kind of little blurbs.
Number 2, Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, Gladiator.
Russell Crowe.
Number 4, Zoolander.
Right.
Orange mocha whip frappuccinos.
Number 5 is The Matrix, the original.
Okay.
I think everybody owns
Number
that one.
6,
I think it came free with you
That's
bought a house.
That's the free space on bingo right there.
number 6 is Pearl Harbor.
Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I
Yep.
skipped one.
7 is Avatar.
Last Airbender or
No, it's definitely the shitty blue one.
The shitty blue people.
Blue People one?
The Smurf movie.
Uh,
Number 8, The Prestige.
ooh, I like that movie.
I have number 9, Wedding Crashers.
I love Wedding Crashers.
10, Castaway. I have number 11, Jersey Girl.
Who wrote this? by the way?
Interesting.
Who wrote this list? Is this you?
I wrote this
You have
list.
some very nice handwriting.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay, hold on. Original or Nick Cage?
The
Come
Nick
on.
Cage.
Okay, I'm
Come on.
Hey,
Default
we're also-
to the stupidest answer.
We're surprised he has the movies to begin with. I have to clarify.
I didn't even actually think about clarifying that.
He's like, no, it's just gonna be Nick Cage.
Saving Silverman. And then we have Pitch Black with Vin Diesel.
Yep, I'm seeing a trend.
The Cell
Ooh,
with Jennifer Lopez.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
We have Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
So that would be the first one.
Meet the Parents. Whiplash.
I feel like if you have Whiplash, Aaron gave it to you. Like he got an extra copy and just gave it to you. Like you just-
Whiplash is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, but you didn't buy it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I know you.
That's
didn't
why it's
buy
on
it.
here.
Okay.
And then I have Rockstar
Oh my God.
with Mark
I've seen that
Wahlberg.
in the theater.
And then
So did I.
the last on this list, Dazed and Confused.
Okay, so
Yep.
Okay, so
Speak
there's
amongst
nine,
yourselves.
9 of these is. Oh,
No-
you have 9 of these.
I have 9 of these on physical
So-
copy.
So we should have at least 9 check marks.
You should have 9 check marks.
Oh my God. All right.
why can't it just be 5? I mean, come on.
I wanted it to be an odd number. That way it gives a definitive winner. Because whoever ends up with the most right answers, you get a point for each. And whoever has the highest score,
I'm going to
Has
say
to
right
drink
now that you do not have Whiplash. I know you like Whiplash. You watched it recently. You started getting into drums. You don't own it. You don't own Whiplash. You watched it on HBO or Soap, or you stole it online. You don't have Whiplash. The rest of these, though, are like, you're retarded. So, like, why would you buy these? My thing is, I'm trying to get into your mindset. Like, I don't see you going to Walmart or Target or a Best Buy and being like, yep,
think
Pearl.
Blockbuster discount bin.
That's true. Yeah. Like
that's
they're
true.
going out of business. I'm getting these like
These are
five,
not-
5 for 20 or
These are
something.
not Blu-rays.
Oh,
these are
DVDs.
DVDs.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
He's like, I don't even know how to pick.
There was a method to this list being made.
course
And
there
I
was.
I wanted it to be, I wanted you to overthink it, thinking you knew me.
Well, here's my thing. So
definitely know you.
Well, here's the thing. If we're thinking Blockbuster, this is where he's got these, and they're all on DVD. Whiplash gets immediately taken out. because
Exactly.
Blockbuster was out of
Exactly.
business before
And-
that.
You know,
And-
what if I went and bought it?
You
You
didn't.
didn't.
Like,
You
I think that's
didn't.
the most lockstep in agreement thing we're gonna say.
Here's the other thing. The Cell, that's a hard DVD to find.
That's a hard movie to watch. Like,
I love that movie.
Me too, but not a lot of people, I think, has gone out and said The Cell. But here's the thing: why would he put that on the list? Like
yeah,
out
why
of
would I put
like
that
just
on the list?
pulling that out of the air. Who says The Cell? Unless he was just looking at movies made in 1993.
He wants you to overthink it.
No,
There's
but
no
see,
way he
that's
owns
the problem.
Cell. There's no way he owns The Prestige. Who directed The Prestige?
Fuck, I don't know.
Exactly. It's not on the. He doesn't own it.
But he might like the movie. He's like, oh,
Name
I like
one
Batman.
actor in The Prestige.
David Bowie.
Oh, he's
doesn't-
right.
I
Actually,
know, but
he's
he
fucking
doesn't-
right. I hate that he's right.
He doesn't own. He doesn't own it.
Well, what a pull, like David Bowie, like fucking Nikola Tesla.
I have my moments.
I
I'm
need
telling you.
2 more.
Oh my god,
I'm kind of throwing shit into the wind at this
I
point.
know. That's why I didn't want to make it easy.
There's no way you own Days.
I was just gonna bring like a big Santa bag of like DVDs over. And I was
Just gonna reach
dump them
into
on the
it.
table. As you guys as we called them off, I was just gonna pull them out of the big.
I have 9. I'm trying not to make this show 8 hours long. So
Okay.
No, that's good.
you got 9.
I've got 9.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start with number 1.
All right, what do you got?
Bad Boys. I do not own Bad Boys.
Do not
I
own-
own Bad Boys 2, though.
Of course you do. I think me and Aaron saw Bad Boys 3 in the theater, and I'm sitting there going, "This movie's horrible."
I checked. I picked that you own that. So
Yes.
Okay. I did not.
I'm down 1.
Rumble in the Bronx.
Okay.
I do own it.
Yes, I put that on there, knowing you liked Police Story and Jackie Chan. We were talking about Jackie
Super
Chan
Cop.
movies like 2 weeks ago.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to drink the fucking soda.
Uh-oh. We still have
We got
18 more to go.
Plenty of other ones. to go.
Gladiator. I do not own Gladiator.
Didn't put that
All right.
on there.
Good.
Zoolander.
Okay.
I do not own Zoolander.
Fuck, I put Zoolander.
That's why. That's
I'm
why
like,
I went on
Scott's an
there.
idiot. He's gonna love Zoolander.
I do love Zoolander. I just
So
don't own
good.
it.
Okay.
The Matrix.
Okay.
I do not
Fuck.
own the
I
Matrix.
think I'm out already, dude.
That may have been my last one.
Pearl Harbor.
Oh my god.
I do own Pearl
Oh
Harbor.
my god, you love Josh Hartnett so much.
It's such a terrible movie, but I do have it because I don't even remember why I got it. It was like super cheap.
Ben Affleck. You
Yeah,
just
maybe.
love Ben Affleck.
Avatar. Do not own Avatar.
Okay.
I think I already lost, man.
The Prestige. I do own The Prestige.
So, it makes me so happy.
and it's still in the cardboard sleeve.
Of course.
Oh, shit.
It's like half the movies in here, they're still in plastic.
Wedding Crashers.
Yep.
I own Wedding
Yeah.
Crashers.
Yeah, I got that one.
Me too.
Castaway. I do not
Fuck, I put that
own
one.
Castaway.
Put the
All
chair,
right.
Castaway.
Jersey Girl.
Okay.
I do
Oh.
own Jersey Girl.
Fuck you.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yep.
I do not own it.
Eleanor. Yeah, I didn't pick that one either.
I
but
did.
I love that movie.
Saving Silverman.
Yep.
Own it.
Of course you do, because
Yep.
I checked it.
Yeah, me too. I got that one.
Pitch Black.
Uh-huh.
Own it.
Yes. You're drinking soda, motherfucker.
Yep.
The Cell.
Oh, please own it.
I do not
Thank
own
God. Okay, but
it.
that would have been funny.
But I might check because who knows? I might have it.
I think it's streaming for sure, so if you want to watch it, watch
Austin Powers. Obviously own it.
it. Yep, and I
got-
just marked it
I
because you're a
marked that one, too.
simpleton.
Meet the Parents. I do not own it.
Okay.
I own Meet the Fockers.
Of course you do.
didn't
It's the worst. So you own all the sequels.
Yeah,
Got it.
pretty much. Whiplash. I do not own it, but I do love that movie.
I put that on there at the last second thinking he's going to talk us out of this, and it's going to be a movie, but okay.
Rockstar.
All right, I'm already out.
I own it,
Okay.
and I do love that movie.
Oh, fuck. I'm just, like, thinking of, like, how, like, stupidly good and bad that movie is.
It's good and
Because
bad.
that's a movie that they play some of those
It was loosely based on like the Judas Priest.
yes, and
Lead
they
singer.
play it at hockey games. Like they'll do some of the sounders and it's like you shout, and then everyone's like yeah, and no one knows what it's from. I'm like yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh man! And then the last one, Dazed and Confused, I do not own.
All right, so how many did you get?
I don't know. Maybe 2. I don't know. I put. This is what I put that you had. Bad Boys, which you don't.
Oh shit.
Zoolander, which you don't. The Matrix, which you don't. Avatar, which you don't.
No.
You don't own it?
Nope.
Okay. Then I have Wedding Crashers, which you do. Castaway, you do? Don't?
Nope.
Okay. Gone in 60 Seconds.
Nope.
Saving Silverman. Awesome Powers.
You got 3 points.
3 points.
I got 5.
All right. Well, there you go. I have to drink the gross soda now.
Ba-ba-ba.
Drink some sodas.
Fuck. Well,
Damn.
There you go.
Wow.
And there's other movies in there too. I just didn't want. There was a lot of obvious ones.
That's funny.
at least I didn't have to.
Buy me
chip.
wings.
No, I don't care about the buy. I'd rather buy you wings.
Well, there's a little insight into my world.
That is kind of
Well, that was our first ever game on the show.
I honestly,
lost.
I was gonna say honestly, the Prestige is the one that throws me off. Pearl Harbor, I could see, everyone I think was into Pearl
stupid.
Harbor at the time it came out. And it was like, oh, it's a war movie, and then you start to realize how
I
really
threw the
bad it
Prestige
is.
on there because I kind of figured that you guys would not think that I own that movie.
Yeah, no, that is actually probably like the only other thing that would have surprised me if you said, yeah, no, I own The Cell. I've never seen it, never heard of it, but I just picked it up because it was in the bin or something like that. But yeah.
Yep.
That definitely threw me off. All right. Well, that's shit. I'm going to keep doing that shit. That was fun.
Yeah, for you.
All the rest of my movies will just be like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter movies.
Disney?
I have Disney VHSs.
Man,
I have a
it's
lot of Disney
it's a
VHSs.
man out of time over here.
For real.
I was going to big old clamshell ones.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. People fucking go nuts for those things.
Why don't we get to the main attraction?
Oh.
We watched a movie this week. What was your movie, Scott?
So the movie I picked from 1985, starring the man who beat the sun in a staring contest, Chuck Norris, Invasion USA.
Can I put the star up this year? Time for dinner.
No one thought it could ever happen here. They are an army of international terrorists.
America has not been invaded by a foreign enemy in nearly 200 years.
Their target, America. Their objective, control.
18 hours from now, America will be a different place.
Now, only one thing stands in their way.
It's time to die. Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
They wanted a war.
See you in hell.
He gave them one.
Send me a postcard.
Chuck Norris. Invasion USA.
This movie is fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
That's I mean, it's all I can say about it. It is, this movie sweats 80s. It is the most 80s movie other than I can think of, like Breakin', which is actually done by the same company.
Same company, yep.
This movie is so 80s and so Chuck Norris. There's so many laughable scenes in this movie that I was laughing out loud at multiple parts in this movie, and this movie makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
You shouldn't be laughing this much at an action movie that is actually trying to be serious.
Yes.
It is like playing it so straight. There are no jokes in this movie. There's no laughable moments. There's no lightheartedness. Everything in this movie screams muscles and sweat and fucking testosterone and Cold War and like we hate the Russians and the USA is rich decadent country and fucking it's just batshit crazy from start to finish.
I wouldn't say there was things that were intentionally funny, but maybe.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like it's not supposed to be funny. It's not played to be funny, and I found myself laughing
out loud moments,
like full on laughing at moments. There's a moment later on at the end where an explosion happens. There's some skipping ahead just for a second. There's all these armored cars being worked on and in a bunker area or whatever. And this guy goes up and grabs something, and he's walking, and all of a sudden, an explosion happens, and the way they shot it, explosion happens, and whatever dummy they had comes crashing into the camera, and it's so laughable, I had to stop the movie and just laugh. Like, I was laughing for like 5 minutes at how ridiculous it looked. And that's how this movie is. Like, it's just explosion after explosion after explosion.
You've got to know what you're getting into the moment this movie starts.
The second it says Canon Films, you should know.
Yeah, I mean, you get into this scene with all these Cuban refugees, and then the rescue boat comes up, and they just shoot everybody.
Welcome to Estados Unidos. Yay!
And then you get Chuck Norris driving in an airboat.
Yeah,
with his
that's the credit sequence.
The chest just flapping in the wind. I mean, his hair doesn't move. I mean, he's just with his cowboy boots and his tight jeans.
That's his nickname throughout the entire movie. The reporter keeps calling him Cowboy because that's right. He's got the cowboy boots and just bare chested the whole time.
It's just so absurd. Every beginning morsel of this movie is absurdity to the max.
Yes,
and this is a movie that I can say. It probably would have been more fun to watch with all three of us in a room together.
I think we need to pick more Canon Films and do those kinds of things.
I have a list now of movies that I know I haven't seen.
Canon Films notoriously makes these movies on a budget. They churned them out quickly, and they usually retained a lot of the same actors. Chuck Norris, like all those Missing in Action movies, Braddock, Mission in Action 2, things like that. Those are all Canon Films. And he signed on with them to kind of get his start. So all of his early movies were all Canon Films, and they were done by these two Israeli guys who really wanted to be in the movie business. And this movie is just one of those, throwaway movies that they did because they knew that they can do it on a budget, get it cheap. They probably had half the sets already built for another fucking movie they were filming at the same time, and they did that. And they would buy
let's blow them up.
Yeah, and they would do these dumb scripts. They would get a lot of cheap actors, and they would do that. I mean, if you look at some of the actors in this movie, they were probably Israelis. Most of the actors probably didn't even speak English, so you get them in cheap and you do them. And if you really want to go deep on their catalog and figure out the craziness of Canon Films and why I loved each one of these growing up, there's a documentary called Electric Boogaloo, The Making of Canon Films. I highly suggest it. It's one of my favorite things to watch. It goes through how they started, how they got together, why they made the movies they made, and it's almost bonkers that they got away with what they got away with. And it's fucking insane. And I loved every second of this. And I also hated every second of this. Like, it's just one of those, you love to hate it, and I recommend watching
it. With this being such a terrible movie, apparently
19%, by the way.
It says until 2007, this was MGM's second highest selling home video title behind Gone with the Wind.
Right. Yeah, no,
that's pretty impressive.
They made it. I think they made it for $12 million. It made like $17 million in the box office. It's just one of those. Like I said, they do it on the cheap. In fact, I think at one point the director was making the movie and was sending all the dailies over to one of the guys who runs Canon. I think it was Menachem Golem. I swear to God, that's how you pronounce his name, and it's scary that I knew that. And he's like, okay, I need to talk to you. And the director was like freaking out, going, okay, they hate this movie. They're like, no, we love this movie. Here's another $2 million. And then they fucking edited out every bit of plot. Yeah, here's more money. I was joking last night when I was watching. I sent the message to you guys going, they made this for $12 million. $8 million was the explosion budget. Because legit, every scene was an explosion. Like, everything exploded in this movie. It was nuts. Like, just fucking crazy.
Okay.
Aaron hated this. Like, you can tell that he didn't want to watch any of this.
No. I didn't hate it. I am a stupid person. I'm a simpleton as Scott is. I don't consider myself some amazing, connoisseur of all the arts or anything. I feel like my tastes have moved beyond this mess of a type of movie. It reminded me of Fast and the Furious or
no, because that had a plot.
or just something along those lines. I feel like these films treat the audience like they're very, very stupid.
This was the 80s.
I get it. I'm not taking anything away from it, and I'm not saying that it's a necessarily bad movie, which it is, but it's not. It's almost unwatchable in my perspective because of how, like, I was sitting there and they were doing lines, and I was saying back what they were about to say.
Oh, quoting lines.
No.
Not the Coke lines.
Oh, not the Coke scene?
What do you mean?
Doing
You
lines?
said they were doing lines.
Oh, sorry.
And then he slams her head into the fucking table.
Yeah.
Throws her out the window?
No, I was sitting there and I could literally
That's why it's laughable.
guess the dialogue, and I don't like feeling like an 8-year-old.
Oh, this
wrote
movie is
script.
the most basic, vanilla, stupid movie ever.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even know what the plot is. Like you said, it starts off like Russian guy impersonating Coast Guard. Fires.
He wasn't Russian. He was like
Rostov was Russian. His partner was Israeli. The group that they brought in was like a mix of Chinese nationals and Germans, and it takes place in Miami. And Chuck Norris is the white
Wrestling
savior.
alligators.
Like, it runs the alligators with the fucking Indian guy from Saved by the Bell. Like, it's just a fucking cornucopia of crazy. And I don't even realize what the real plot of this movie is. Like, they want to upset the U.S. and attack the U.S. on their own soil. Where's the cocaine come in? Is
It's
that how
the
they
80s, bro.
Yeah, but I don't even know why
Everybody's
that came
cocaining it up.
I mean, Aaron even brought this up when we were texting. There was apparently a flashback of the bad guy that was about to blow up again.
It was a dream, though.
He was dreaming about what happened at some point, I guess. I don't know, but apparently Chuck Norris and him have history, but you fucking wouldn't know it by this movie.
Right.
Other than the fact that they know each other.
There's
but
no explanation
Jesus
of it.
Christ. And they do like this weird dream sequence, and he wakes up and he's like dreaming about Matt Hunter again. And he's like, "Oh, we got to get him," and that's what makes them go on the riverboats and fucking go blow up the gator farm. And it's just Chuck Norris gets in the most indestructible fucking Ford Bronco and goes on a rampage.
The fall guy.
Like, I just don't. Yeah, and I was reading up on it afterward, and they cut out so much plot and so much backstory and so many characters that it was just a sequence of explosions going to another explosion. Like, there's that scene that you were talking about, like, oh, I love the school bus part. Nah, that was funny. And then the car explodes, and then it's cut to another scene. He's walking through a carnival. Why? What the fuck is this carnival doing here? Why is the carnival ride exploded? And what the weird CIA guy comes up, talks to him, and then sets up the next scene. And what did you cut out? Like, none of this made sense to me.
Let's not gloss over the fact that this is now a fucking Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. It is full-on Christmas. This takes place in Miami at Christmas.
They're all out in their fucking shorts
God.
and shit, drinking.
The neighborhood. Like, they were playing Christmas music when they met on the beach, like right after they kind of start things up, before they blow up the neighborhood. And I heard Christmas music in the background. I'm like, oh my God, is this a Christmas movie? And then the next scene is that typical American neighborhood.
We're decorating the tree in the front.
Why are they decorating the outside tree like a fucking indoor Christmas tree?
Because they had to have a reason to be outside when the terrorists rolled up with bazookas to fucking launch missiles into the goddamn houses.
Bazookas that have multiple shots ready to go that doesn't ever exist. You can't shoot 4 shots from a bazooka without reloading that bazooka. It's ridiculous that explosions. Like
Aaron sends a text last night. He's like, "I'm so glad the little girl made it out of the house."
I don't know how she did. She goes
The
she
body
goes out.
count in this film is 129 dead people.
I would believe it.
Probably
And
all from Chuck Norris.
All explosions.
Matt Hunter killed 30 people.
Yes. Oh,
Wow.
my favorite part.
Seems like way more.
My favorite is when the terrorists are like, we're going to go blow up this one church full of white people in Miami. And they go up and they put this suitcase right in front of the door. And they wired it up and they go. And then they're like, all right, let's blow it up. And then nothing. And then Chuck Norris comes over the top. He goes, what, didn't work? And then he throws it on top of him and he goes,
He's
it'll
behind
work
him.
now.
The fucking briefcase is in front of them.
How did they not see it move?
They roll the wires across the street,
Oh my God.
and then they go to like hit the buttons, and it doesn't work.
Like-
Like they didn't see him grab the fucking suitcase,
Cut the wires.
climb up behind them on the fucking building behind him, and
a
then
fucking
proceed to drop the
cowboy
fucking bomb on
ninja.
him and kill him.
He's like, guess it didn't work. And then he's going to work now. And then he puts the two wires together as if him touching the two wires is an electrical spark to... None of that made sense.
Chuck
The
Norris is made of
explosion-
batteries.
The explosion was so tiny compared to what I expected them to blow up the church with. So, like, if this went off at the church, the
would've blew up,
doors
like,
would have
3
blown
pews.
open, but that's it. And they're fucking dead. And it was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, when he goes into the bar and immediately gets met with the white dude, I don't know you. And he goes, that's weird. Me neither. I don't know you. And he's like, let me in. And he's like, no. And then he fucking breaks the bottle in his hand and he just walks off. I'm like, this movie's fucking weird. Like, it's nuts, man.
They originally had Whoopi Goldberg. That Chuck Norris like pushed really hard for Whoopi Goldberg to play the journalist in this film, but I guess they couldn't get her.
Oh my God. Or the scene where she's like a hostage and then he fucking hits the gun and makes the guy shoot himself in the head. And then fucking she's pissed off about it. And then like he's like, well, I guess I gotta go. And then he walks off and fucking gets his indestructible Ford Bronco and then takes off again. I'm like, this is not even the nuttiest part. The nuttiest part of this whole movie for me, other than the end where the bad guys come out and they're met with like 50 tanks, and then there's a gunfight that should have lasted 3 seconds that goes on for 30 minutes. Forever. And people still survived it. It was weird. Is the mall scene. The guy goes to blow up the mall. It doesn't really work. Then they shoot people, and then an explosion goes off, and then all of a sudden Chuck Norris drives into the mall with his Ford Bronco, kills some of the terrorists, and then there's a big fight. They run out, the terrorist guys run out and are met immediately with this Karen going, hey, what are you doing? And he grabs the girl, and with the fucking strongest arm I can assume ever in existence, holds onto this woman through his car door window and takes off and is holding her hostage at 60 miles an hour, and she does not fall once.
Yeah, because you can see the fucking harness and everything, and that was what was making me so mad. You could see at one point, if I was really watching that scene, you can see the face of the stunt guy in the window.
Yes.
And like when it goes to the outside shots, it's like you can see the harness and everything. I'm
Yep.
like, all right.
Yep, cut, print.
takes
That's
me-
perfect.
The ultimate part that I love in this movie is when Chuck Norris kind of first accepts the deal, right? And he's like, fine, I'll do your job, but I work alone. He meets this guy, and this guy's like in the room with his hooker or whatever, and he just walks in and stabs a knife through his hand to pin him to the table. His buddy comes running up the stairs, and he just like
muscle
slaps
guy.
him into the door, and he's like, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
I saw that scene because you had told me to look out for it earlier, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever
He runs down the stairs and gets this giant bodybuilder guy, and the guy comes up and he just stares at him with his like arms out.
Oh, we couldn't put him down. It's how thick this guy
And
was.
Chuck Norris, he looks at him and he's like, "You're really starting to irritate me." The guy makes one move and he just drop kicks him one time in the fucking chest.
Right
And
across
he
the
just
room.
goes down the stairs, and I laughed so goddamn hard at that part. It was. For me, that was the funniest moment of the whole fucking movie for me.
Well, and then he takes the grenade out. People are still in the room still. Takes a grenade out, undoes the pin, hands it to the guy he was interrogating. The other guy goes, fuck this shit.
Yep.
Takes off. Everyone's leaving. And he goes, if you survive this, tell Rustov he's a dead man. Or something like that. And then he leaves. And
That
the
was
guy,
one of the ones I was like, oh, this is what he's going to say.
Oh, yeah. No, you can you can write the script as you go. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's predictable. It's fucking batshit crazy.
None of the scenes make sense. Like at the end where like Rostov is going down the hall. There's this long hallway in this building. They've tricked him into coming. Great. You could see this plot 1,000 feet, miles away. So Rostov's walking around for some reason in a hallway with a fucking bazooka, and he's looking left and right, and you can see that the hallway is a fucking long ass hallway. And then behind him, Chuck Norris comes and opens his bazooka, but Rostov's like, "Oh shit, it's on." He turns around and Chuck Norris shoots this bazooka at him, and all of a sudden the hallway is not 500 feet long. He was right by a window, and he explodes into a mess of fucking blood and
You
guts.
see the slow motion foot?
You could see the red mist coming out of the window, and I'm like sitting there going, first of all, that would had no time to fucking arm and explode.
I was just gonna say, I can get very military on you with this. There is not enough room for that fucking rocket launcher to. Only thing it would have done is penetrate him. That's it. It would not have exploded.
He would have just fallen out the window in just that's it. And I don't even know how the window got so close to him all of a sudden. Like this movie is cut so
Magically
bad.
of editing.
Yes, plot. And it was just this is a wild movie.
They just showed up for work and they were like, all right, what were we working on? The hall scene?
Yeah.
All right, dude. We'll start it in this hall right here.
Got any more of that coke lying around?
Well, that actor, the guy who plays Rostov, I guess fucking was a drug addict back in the 70s, and that's why he looks the way he does, because he set himself on fire in a drug binge, and he's 70% burned all over his body. And I've seen this guy in multiple movies. I think his last name's Lynch. And then there was another guy.
David Lynch? I'm just kidding, clearly.
Well, there was another guy. So when he's doing the coke deal, this guy's last name was Drago, and I've seen him in multiple 80s movies. And I'm sitting there going, oh, he's in this movie. He's going to be a big part. Nope, just one scene.
There's a lot of familiar faces that look like they've been in every 80s movie.
Yes, look, every one of them. Yeah, and then they just show up, and then some of them last, some of them are in for one scene, and then they leave. And it was nuts. And for context, for people that have never really seen a canon film, they're the ones that made the Masters of the Universe. And they also made the 4th Superman movie, Superman: A Quest for Peace, because they bought the rights after no one was going to make this movie, and that's why it looks as bad as it does, because they just cut it all to shit. And
they must be known for cutting a lot of things.
If you have too much plot, it's gone. Put another explosion in.
And if this happens to braze an ear of one person that's in the movie industry, please give me a goddamn Masters of the Universe movie that is worth 2 shits. Please,
you didn't like
just
like Gwildor?
Complete my childhood. I don't need
Courtney Cox.
Sounds like a fake name you just said.
No, he's fucking in it, and that's what bothered me, because I was a big He-Man. Gwildor was the guy who did the tones.
I was so excited for that movie when that came out, man. When I was
where's the thing? I want to do the tones.
But I was
Gwildor.
I was like, this is not even Masters of the Universe.
No,
like,
none
what
of
the fuck is this?
I see Skeletor, I see He-Man, and then everybody else is a new random fucking. I'm making a new toy character.
The only person who likes that movie. And
I love that movie.
I don't mean it's a good movie, but
I saw it in the drive-in when I was a young kid.
Infinitely watchable.
I think it was that and Dragnet.
It's funny, but it was just so far out from the Masters of the Universe that I knew as a kid that I wanted more. I want more Masters of the Universe.
Right.
I don't need the Kevin Smith bullshit that he's fucking plaguing onto us right now. I need something.
Cry about it.
I need something
male.
fucking substantial. I need a goddamn He-Man movie.
So toxic. No, I love that movie, and it's not good. It's not good at all. Like, it was unrecognizable as a He-Man property when I was a kid because of all the characters, but I still found it fun. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, Dolph Lundgren, I believe him as He-Man. Skeletor looked like Skeletor. And that was it. Like that was the extent of the familiarity of He-Man in the Masters of the Universe.
I'm sure we'll eventually get one day.
There have been talks. I think Justin Lin at some point was penned to direct and do this shit. I was like, great, it's Fast and Furious for fucking He-Man. But it's in development hell. It's I don't know if we'll see it anytime soon. But you never know with this Kevin Smith thing. As much as some people liked it, some people don't. I think it's going to spark the interest in the property again, and I think we'll probably end up seeing the live action at some point.
I'm really bummed I have to drink a ranch soda.
You're like, this is why I haven't been talking about the movie.
No,
this has been
bumming
me out.
I was just letting you guys talk about it because I don't have a bunch of positive stuff to say, and I don't want to just spend an
shit
hour
on it. Who fucking cares?
No, like I said, I kind of.
It's a bad movie.
Pretty much said what I said.
Yeah, I knew when I picked it. that's how
it's
it's gonna
just
be.
there's not. You guys have touched on everything. I tried to go with the little known facts. It's just, to me, this kind of stuff sucks. It's just, you sit there and you waste an hour and 47 minutes of your life, and you have your eyes rolling in the back of your head. I fell asleep multiple times. I didn't care about anything that was going on screen, and I finally said to myself, I think I've outgrown these types of films. It's just, they're just not entertaining to me anymore. I always ask myself why they don't play this stuff on television anymore, and I think it's just because people have mentally outgrown this stuff. It just doesn't, it brings me no joy. It's almost
subject
boring.
matter.
I'm not gonna lie, if Canon ever did like a Blu-ray set of all their movies in a box set, I'd be the first one in line.
You know what's crazy is I own this film. I own Invasion USA after I heard my fucking God talking about it. But I don't even think he owns this movie, like at this point. And it's just, to me, it was just so, like, I was like, please just, it's the same with like Hard Target. Like,
Oh, that movie's terrible.
it's so bad, and everyone forever told me to watch it. And before we started, I'll watch it later. I watched Hard Target, and I was like,
I remember you telling me,
this
like
is-
you were telling me, you're like, this is bad.
it's an unwatchable film, and everyone, the 4K's coming out, and everyone's freaking out about it, and they're like, this movie rules. And I'm going to Letterboxd, and people are giving it 4s, and I'm like, what are you like, what am I missing? And it's not that I don't want to have fun. I can have fun with a movie, but when it's just like, all right, we're going to blow everything up, and this guy's going to kill 100 people and never get shot and do some crazy thing where he stands on a Toyota that's driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour, and he's got to jump from one car to another. It's just like, I know this dude's going to win. Like, I'm fucking, I'm numb to it.
But it's probably something that, I mean, we've talked about this. It's like, it's something that people hold near and dear to them because they saw that maybe as a child.
Yes,
like you
yes,
said,
yes,
I saw
yes.
Masters of the Universe as a kid. Love the movie.
Oh,
it's
if
a
I
terrible
showed-
fucking movie.
If I showed my kids now,
They would
they'd be
fucking
like, this is
hate it.
terrible.
There's
So
a
the
good
fact
chance
that-
that I've seen Invasion USA as a kid. I just don't remember it.
The fact that we're watching this stuff now as adults after you've seen all these movies, I think it does have kind of a play in your direction of like how you feel about these movies.
It's pure nostalgia.
Yeah, and that's what I think is like, especially with Quentin Tarantino. A lot of movies are movies that I think he watched as a young kid or as a young teenager that stuck with him in like his depths of creativity, and that's what kind of motivates his.
There's another movie.
This is mainstream grindhouse. Like these are grindhouse movies.
I agree
Like
with
you
that,
could
but
play these at like midnight somewhere at a
I
fucking rundown mall.
I find grindhouse movies to be more entertaining because they had such a low budget, and they're like trying to put out a story, and it's just like it's all
Right.
gore and horror, and they're trying to
Superfly.
get a reaction out of you. And this, it's just like, yeah, you'll pay to watch this. And like I said, I don't even consider this a bad movie. It's just, to me, it was just so. It was a nothing. It was a nothing on my radar. And I'm gonna give it a score based on the movie itself and not how I felt about it, because I can't. If I rated this as a movie, I'd give it a 0. Like, that's what I'd give it, because it's nothing to me.
Yes.
It doesn't mean
I agree though.
anything
I mean,
to
I actually
me.
do agree with you.
So, but as a movie itself, I don't want to get into the scores at this exact moment, but I'm saying if I had to, based on my personal opinion, but this isn't about my personal opinion, and it doesn't really matter. And I just didn't want to come in here and shit all over your movie. That's why I kind of kept quiet.
I am not going to get offended.
I know that,
by you
but it's-
shitting on my movie.
I'm actually upset you didn't pick this during Christmas because when it
Well, no
became a
one knew.
Christmas
Who
movie, I'm
knew?
like, this
Yeah,
should have been a Christmas
I
movie.
didn't even know until all of a sudden the Christmas music was
Right.
playing, and then they're in the mall shopping and using
There's
presents to explode the mall. I mean, it's just
There's another movie called Silent Rage that I bought. I bought Invasion USA and I bought Silent Rage, and I heard that Silent Rage is just Chuck Norris trying to kill Michael Myers, and that
Probably.
to me sounds amazing. I don't know if it's a canon film or not, but I also heard that this is really good, and this is almost like a Red Dawn. Red Dawn's a better movie. Red Dawn is incredibly good, and
I think if we sat in a room
Maybe.
drinking and watching this movie,
I might have a better time.
it would be fun.
Maybe, yeah.
This would be a fun movie.
I would check this out at like an Alamo screening party where you could shout.
Not even that. We
scream
just
at
get
the-
a bunch of alcohol. We get some wings and go sit in your backyard on a fucking big screen and just watch fucking Invasion USA or Missing in Action or any of the
I've never
other
seen
thousands of.
Missing in Action, but yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna pick.
You know what my favorite Chuck Norris movie is? Sidekicks. I'm gonna be 100% serious.
Wow.
I love Sidekicks. That's a great movie.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably, when you go back to it, I mean, this is probably where a lot of the Chuck Norris shit comes from, because it's so absurd.
It does. I mean,
Yeah,
he did.
you know,
He did
it's
his.
so absurd.
He did his stint doing some Bruce Lee stuff, and that's where he kind of, at the height of his karate days. But then, like, to be a real actor, Cannon Films put him on the map. Missing in Action 2, I think Braddock, Missing in Action 3. I mean, he did all these movies for Cannon. They put his name out there.
Well, the guy's
They're
actual
shit movies, but
his
they
actual
got him out there.
credentials. I mean, the guy is like a martial arts master.
Yes.
I mean, the guy's a black belt. He's like a black belt 14 times over. He's,
Judo, Brazilian
yeah,
Jiu-Jitsu, Tang Sudo.
It's just insane. And I think it's the lore. It's the lore of Chuck Norris,
Well,
because
like,
we know about it now.
I think it was like, 80s was when I was born, but I grew up with the Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I think like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Chuck Norris are like the same person, making the same types of movies. And I think maybe because that's all, like the Hard Targets.
Yeah, I don't
and
know. I think Chuck Norris was probably a little
Time
bit more
Cop.
I love Time Cop.
a little bit more action-y, is where Jean-Claude really tried to do all the martial arts and everything. Chuck Norris really didn't, you didn't see any martial arts in this movie.
He was a martial
he did
artist.
one
Right.
spin kick toward the end of the movie. Yeah, there was really, when he was kicking Rostov over the cubicle walls, he just kept kicking him, and then like Rostov would like almost backflip over, and then he would do it again, and then I
just hate being overly negative. I just wanted you guys to gush about how much you loved an 80s movie, and I love that. I love that.
There is a
about
place
you
for
guys.
this in
Be
my
negative,
heart.
bro.
No, I've done being
Bring it,
negative.
bro.
I already did it.
No,
Already did it.
again, like I said, it's like, and I don't want to feel like the same way. Like if I don't like a movie, I'm gonna say I don't like a movie.
Yeah, but
if
you're
you don't like it,
dumb.
you say you don't like it. It's not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. I mean, that's what
Hurts
makes
my
it. That's why
feelings.
there's 3 of us on a show, and that's why it makes it dynamic, because
Let's
we're
go
not
back to
all
last
going
week's
to enjoy
show
it.
where I gave his movie a 3.5.
No,
and
that
it's
was 2 weeks
pretty-
ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Oh well, yeah. When this
We had to watch
comes
your
out,
movie
that's
last
right. Last week is
What was
yeah.
your pretentious movie? I can't even remember.
Where
wow,
Eagles Dare.
Where Eagles Dare?
Oh, that's right. It was boring. I gave it a 3.
No, I'm not going to be overly negative. Your movie sucked.
Just fucking with you.
2 weeks of shitty movies. I can't wait to pick mine.
No, so, all right. We want to do scores and
Scott's movie. Go ahead and start us off.
Yeah,
buddy.
get the wings going.
Like I said, this is a movie that if you sat around with your buddies and you were drinking, you'd probably have a great time watching this movie. You can laugh. There's a lot of one-liners in it.
Fucking A.
I'm going to say, based on that, this is a terrible movie if you just put it in movie context. Terrible fucking movie. Just all the bullshit and the batshit craziness of it gives it a 2.5 for me, but it's a strong 2.5 because it's a fun watch. But I think a 2.5, I think is it's right in the middle.
We're right there.
Yeah.
I think I completely agree with you. 2.5 for me as well. I think that this film, if you watch it with a bunch of people, maybe it gets better. I think Red Dawn's a better film if you want to watch a movie like this. I think it's even more entertaining with the Avenge Me and all that good stuff. I didn't find Chuck Norris to be particularly likable in this film.
He's wooden.
Yeah, I thought it would be more fun, and maybe that was my problem. But overall, I think there is an audience for this. I think don't let me discourage you in any way from watching this, because you might absolutely fucking love it, because it is bonkers. It's a bonkers movie, and it goes into the bonkers category. I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting film. I don't want to sit here and be like, it's bad and you should never watch it. No, it's interesting because of
It's a bad, good film.
the time. Yeah, maybe it's so bad it's good
Yeah.
type of film. Because of the time that it came out and the social issues and the fact that we had we did have Red Dawns and stuff like that coming out at the same time. I just think that this fell in between the cracks. And I mean, I know a lot of people have seen it, so it's not like I'm not tooting my own horn thinking that I discovered some fucking masterpiece or anything. But what I'm saying is I just think that there's an audience for this movie, clearly, and that audience will love it. And I think that if you're over the 80s action hero and you need something to stimulate your brain a little bit more, then this is not the movie for you. So my score reflects the movie itself, which is 2.5. If you hate it, that's fine. If you love it, I think that's fine as well. So, Jordan?
I'm that audience you're talking about. I'm also giving it a 2.5. I think it is watchable, but not for the reasons they made it. Like they made this to be an action movie, serious issues. We're fighting Russia. It's the Cold War. It's the height of the Cold War. It's in the 80s. No, this is fucking hilarious. This is ridiculous. This is, like you said, it's bonkers. It is a product of its time, and I think the backstory on how these movies, canon films itself, got made is the bigger story and why I enjoy watching these movies. And that's why I'm going to say, yes, 2.5 for this movie. Fucking don't watch it or watch it. I don't care. It's just fun. Go watch the documentary. You will find way more entertainment on why these movies got made the way they are and why they are as bad and good as they are. And that's, like I said, Electric Boogaloo, the story of canon films. Watch that documentary. It's fantastic.
I think this film is infinitely more fun to talk about than it is to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a perfect pick for the show. I just, like I said, I was quiet in the beginning because I just didn't want to I don't like to pound people over the head with negativity 3 weeks in a row, and that was my biggest thing. I just don't want to sound like I hate everything because this is not the way it is. I could not get into this film, and I really wanted to. So I think the 80s action superstar is dead. I think it's time to move on. I don't see anything redeemable when it comes to that stuff.
I don't know, man. It kind of makes me want to go back and watch all those Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Yeah, I mean,
like just those weird, super stupid.
There's still a place in my heart for those movies. I'll watch the Tragedy of Macbeth, and I will sit there and say it's a 5. I love that movie. It's beautifully shot. It's all this and all that. And then I'll say, you know what? I want to watch fucking Invasion USA. I can appreciate any type of movie that comes across.
But if I brought you Invasion USA or Red Dawn, what are you picking?
Invasion USA. I didn't like Red Dawn.
What?
I don't like Red Dawn.
Please get out of my house.
I'm sorry. I
don't mean to be negative.
The remake,
but I need you to get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
We're not talking about the remake.
No, I'm just saying the remake is terrible. I was never a Red Dawn
Patrick
person.
Swayze,
That's
Charlie
fine.
Sheen.
No, I think there was another movie that I kind of wanted to bring to the table.
Thompson.
Where I think it was Will Wheaton and what's his face? One of the guy who played Frodo's little buddy, Sam.
Oh, Rudy.
Yeah. So
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin. Yeah. Brain fart. I love that guy. There's another one where terrorists come and invade their school, and they go off and fight the terrorists there. Like those are the types of movies that I remember watching as a kid and growing up and sneaking out and watching on Showtime or something like that. So a lot of these movies have a very special place for me.
Yeah.
And that's why, yes, this movie's terrible. And if I were said, I've never seen any of these, and I watched this for the first time and had no backstory to canon films or how they did things, I would say this movie is a fucking, like you said, a 0 or a 1. Toy Soldiers. And I want to watch that movie. But
You've never seen Toy Soldiers?
I've seen parts of it. Like,
I think
it's one
I've
of those
seen parts
ones
of
where
it
I
too.
kind of just caught little bits and pieces, but I never.
Guess what?
sat
My
down.
next movie. No, I'm
Toy
totally
Soldiers.
kidding. No.
Never seen it.
Small Soldiers. But yeah, like
Jordan
I just
can pick that.
no, you can give it a 1. But yeah, like just those types of movies do have a special place in my heart where I can watch, the Blade Runners and have some real good story.
I'm not
and
saying
then I can watch really shitty movies.
Stupid action films don't have a place. I'm not saying that.
I'm excited for fucking Alligator on 4K.
Me too.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love Hiss and like all those weird 70s movies that they did where all the animals were fucking killing people and shit. So like, I love all kinds of things, and that's why I can appreciate a movie like Invasion USA.
That's fair.
What do you got?
Okay, so you will have 2 weeks to watch my next movie, which always seems to be the case.
That's
because we have another show.
We have a
that we
snack
do.
show coming up next week, so we'll have a snack show. Nothing overly special, just snack show with it.
love the
Snack
snack
showing
shows.
it up.
So
Nothing.
Is the snack show going to be the ranch in Buffalo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
'cause
Super Bowl.
I just want
for the
to.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
I want to get it over with.
All right. We're going.
But right now I'm going to pick my movie. So this is a 2018 film directed by Bart Layton. And I've been meaning to watch this forever. And I almost saw it in the theater a bunch of times, and I just kept passing me by. So I'm going to make you guys watch it. It's called American Animals.
You ever feel like You're waiting for something to happen. That thing that could make your life special.
Yeah. Like what?
Exactly.
Through these doors, John James Audubon. This book is the most valuable in existence.
$12 million in rare books, and only one old lady guarding it.
What?
I think you know what.
My heart beats in patterns through the broken sound.
This is your red pill or blue pill moment, my friend. You're either in or you're out.
How can I tell you if I'm in or I'm out without you telling me the first thing about what I might be in or out of?
Aren't you even curious?
Well, yeah, prison would be a nice change of scenery.
The librarian is the single biggest risk to this entire operation.
Can you please not touch the model?
Thanks. I don't want you waking up 10 years from now wondering what could have happened. Let's go!
Come on!
You guys are sending us to jail, you idiots!
You're the only one that can calm me down.
Can you stop? No, I'm not stopping until it's burned. Look, it's evidence. Thank you.
Stars our boy, Evan Peters, who you might know from the X-Men films. Barry Keoghan, who, I fucking have not shut up about.
Right.
It's about these four friends who live ordinary existence in Kentucky after a visit to Transylvania University.
I didn't read the synopsis to this when you talked about it. I am already in.
Lipka comes up with the idea to steal the rarest and most valuable books from the school library as one of the most... I don't know what that word is.
I'm glad we had the same thought.
Anyways, it's based on a true story. It's about some kids who stole some books.
Sold me.
You had me at they went to Transylvania, and then I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god!"
As soon as you said Transylvania, I was like, "Okay, is this a comedy?"
But then he just said based on a true story, and I'm like, it's not gonna be a vampire movie." I was kind of bummed out. That's actually sounds really cool.
Whatever, man. Udo Kier's in this film.
Udo Kier?
Yeah, I love him.
Oh, he's a weirdo.
You got 2 weeks to watch that. I literally has sat on my shelf forever. American Animals. I've been meaning to watch it forever, and I think it's a good.
Do you just go through your stacks and just go?
No,
actually,
you
know what? This one's still in the plastic. I haven't watched it.
It's
That's
actually
my next pick.
not in the plastic. There have been about 18 times that I've pulled that out to watch it, and I just never have gotten around to it.
Okay.
And no,
I see it right now.
I really wanted to pick another film, but you'd already seen it, so I'm trying to not do that right now.
I'm sorry.
Eventually,
Like I
there's
said,
going to come a time where I'm going to just have to. Because there's stuff I really, really want to see, and I think it would be really good for the show, like the movie that I asked you about.
I forget what you asked me about.
Tinker
Taylor Soldier Spy?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So I would really love to see
Don't
that.
Pick it.
Benedict Cumberbatch, early Benedict Cumberbatch, Gary Oldman. I just think that would be fucking
It's a good
awesome.
movie.
Shut the fuck up. How would you know? You saw it a
kidding.
million years ago because you're old. Anyways.
like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It's not that old.
Aaron, I was born in the 80s.
What? It's not 5 years ago.
It's not that old. It may within 10 years. It's recent. That's why I've seen it. But to
2011.
Okay, so I was right. It's around 10 years.
It was 12 years, sir.
Oh God, is it 22? Fucking damn old. But no, it's just for me, growing up with no cable for a while,
same way,
and then getting into working at a video store, it was like a kid in a candy store. Literally anything that I could watch, I would put my hands on and watch. And I would watch it when we were closing. I would watch it when I'd go home. There'd be times on my days off, I would be at the store that I worked at multiple times renting movies in and out just to fucking watch all these fucking movies.
I was the same way. It's just my thing is I'd watch the same movies over and over again instead of
Oh,
renting
yeah. See,
new
I
ones.
watch Scannon films. I watch things like Invasion USA.
Shocker.
I seen Shocker. That's Peter Berg. Anyway, yeah. So
all right, guys. So next week will be the snack show where I have to drink fucking.
So
at least we can go to. No, fuck you, Scott. you don't get to go to the candy store with us because you won't go eat wings with us tonight. So me and Jordan will go to the candy store, and I'll buy the stupid soda, and I'll drink it on the next episode.
Yep.
I have a massage tonight back in the suite.
The star of the show.
I'm
Limo
Aaron.
comes and picks me up.
Jordan.
And the star of the show, Scat.
And the first rule about I'll Watch It Later podcast is you don't talk about I'll Watch It Later podcast.
Obviously, I've seen our numbers.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.